Welcome back YouTube, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to another video. Tutor UK here. Switched the view up a little bit, which obviously you're more than aware of. Yeah, I thought let's, I've moved my chair over because fucking aching. Too old. Too old. I couldn't be bothered to stand up. Got my Gamer Dad t-shirt on. There's no white in here. I've got some nice box stuff again. Pretty much akin to the last vid. You know, proper retro. Proper retro. That's what we do here. That's what we do here. Don't have lot, you know, piles of shit for sale. I mean, this is like some of the last lot. Some nice bits here actually. I got these from charity shop a couple of weeks ago. I don't show this because it's just all just the kind of shit that I just don't bother showing. That's quite nice, I must admit. The steel tin for Uncharted 2. Yeah. Loads of Xbox. What else was there? There was shit. Yeah, nothing amazing. Anyway, got some more nice other bits from the charity shop, but I just don't show it. Some nice graphic novels and stuff like that. I have bought some from the charity shop. I am keeping it. I'll show that first. I've done nothing else with it, and it probably needs a bit of a clean. But I've got a few of these, and I need to do some investigative research and to see how many there are that were released. I have got a box full of them, but I couldn't remember if I had this one. There's some that I definitely know I've got, but this wasn't one of them. And they had it up for 20. God, I want to say 20 quid. Or was it 25? And when I asked to sort of see, was it all there? Fortunately enough, it was missing a card. And I bought another game that wasn't complete. And I said, "Oh, what would you do for the pair?" And he said 15 quid, and I was like all over it. And I bought the card off of eBay in a pack for a couple of quid. So, and it's cost me next to now. And it's the Donkey Kong, the M&B, Milton Bradley Donkey Kong game. So it is complete. It's in really quite nice condition actually. You tend to find that with these M&B games, they're either like completely battered or they're in half decent condition. I've got stuff like Zaxxon. I've definitely got Pac-Man. I need to dig them out and go through and just sort of see if I've got any pieces missing. There's one or two that I know I've got duplicates of. But yeah, it'd be nice to get a full set of these. I know there's one that's a bit more tricky than the others, and I can't think for the life of me what it is. The Zaxxon, Donkey Kong, Pac-Man. Some people tell me that I know there's probably at least half a dozen, like six. There's 6 or so of them, and I've got quite a few, but I need to dig them out. But anyway, thought something different. If you haven't seen one of these before, actually I'll just show you. There's not a great deal to it. It's a traditional board game. You remember board games? But yeah, there's not. You know, there's old Donkey Kong. So you get all the bits of shit in there. I mean, never going to get played, but I just think they look really nice little display pieces. Not that I've got anywhere to display anything. But yeah, so that was one thing that I did keep from the charity shops. That was last week I got that. So wait for the card to come through from eBay. Managed to bag that. Talking of eBay, couple manuals. I'm not going to get the games down, but just trying to fill out and complete some of these NES sets. So we've got Days of Thunder, Snake Rattle and Roll, and Rainbow Islands. I know it sounds a lot, about £5 a manual, give or take. But it's that, or I pay 15 quid or 20 quid and be stuck with a cartridge. And I just think, you know what, if I just buy the manual, it's £5, it's done. Then I've not got, you know, the games are complete in that respect. So yeah, a couple of missing manuals from games. So all adds up, man. You got to start chucking these fivers around. Talking of completing games, this isn't one of them. Very weird anomaly for me, especially in the current trend, I suppose, of the channel. I bought a loose cart. Bought a loose cart from eBay. This is it's an uncommon game. I've seen it once or twice. I've seen it. You can get it box complete, and I've seen it once or twice. Some people have staff money, and some people put it for auction. It's always been at the wrong time. But a loose cart, especially the UKV one, you tend to see this a lot more of the EUR, the European release, and it's a Konami one, so it does fit in with the old, the kind of like silver box Konami releases on the Super Nintendo, and it's NFL football. I have no idea. I think it's meant to be an half decent NFF American football game, but I wouldn't know. But it does form part of that sort of Konami silver box set. But yeah, quite an uncommon. Again, like I say, quite a tricky one to see. You don't see it very often. But I suspect it didn't sell very well. Go up with the likes of John Madden of the time, which, you know, decimated all competition, didn't it? Old Joe Montana on the Mega Drive, he managed two games, didn't he, before they called it quits. So the rest of this stuff now, no, it's not. I was going to say it's Nintendo. It's not. It's not Nintendo. What we'll do some Nintendo. We'll do some N64 again from eBay. From CEX. All with credit these were. All with credit. This one popped up. I still need to do some bit of remedial work on that. Needs an eye. I haven't really touched much with this. To be honest, it doesn't need a great deal of work. There's a couple of these on the system. This one is Gex 64 Enter the Gecko, which I think is the cheaper. I think there's two, but again, like I've always tell you guys, I wouldn't show if it weren't complete. So again, quite nice condition. A little bit of a ding in that corner there, so it needs get a bit of an iron on it, and that'll straighten that out, pull that in. So yeah, weirdly enough, when I sorted out the shelves, showed you in the last vid, I didn't really realise, which sounds stupid, just how many Super Nintendo games I've got. Because I used to always think I had a larger N64 one, but it's not. Yeah, there are loads of N64 games that I'm missing. You know, not expensive ones, not like mega expensive, but here's the case in point. Just ones like this, again from CEX, really nice condition, doesn't need a great deal, if anything, doing to it. GT 64 Championship Edition. I'm not sure how this races. I remember Glenn Plant doing a load of racing games. I've got a feeling this one's not meant to be half bad. But yeah, there's some low-hanging fruit like this that I just don't have boxed. And yeah, I say low-hanging fruit. You know, I used to think it was like maybe a £5. They're not. These are 15, 20 quid games now. Easy, easy, easy. And talking of what I thought was low-hanging fruit, when it popped up again on CEX, 30 quid. Luckily enough, I've paid these with store credit, trading in the 360 shit and the PS3. Less so shit. Although that's not really fair on the Xbox 360. I know I'm defending the Xbox 360 because I think due to the backwards compatibility that they've done on that, it has bumped the value of some of these, like Call of Duty 2, for example. You can get 8 quid for that from CEX. On the PS3, it's like £1 or 2 quid. It's not even that, I don't think. It's like 80p or something. So, yeah, I call the Xbox 360 tat. It is tat, but it's valuable tat. Anyway, with tap money, Monaco Grand Prix Racing Simulation, 30 quid. But it was one that, again, I just sort of saw there and I thought, oh, I haven't seen that. Again, I've mentioned this numerous times on this channel. when I have a look on the old Kex, on the old Sex shop, if there's one there that jumps out that I haven't seen before, I tend to dive a bit deeper and have a quick look. And yeah, I just thought, well, let's grab it. Let's grab it. Nice that sticker's still intact as well, because they tend to get torn off, and you know, and then you have to have the problem of trying to remove it again. 10 minutes. Again, not any different from last week's vid or the previous vid. We've still got them 2 shows. Again, I'll link them down below just in case anyone's not aware. Birmingham Game Market at the Custard Factory, 4th of December. There's a few tubers stalling out. Eddie Roller Call will be there. I think Craig's here again. We're stalling out. Jimmy Retro will be stalling out. I found that out from the last vid. So yeah, come along, spend some money that you ain't got on stuff you don't need. Obviously with myself and Fob on our stalls. Dane still will be there. Dave still will be there as well. And then obviously later on in December, towards the back end of December 17th, we've got the Nottingham Video Games Expo. So yeah, I think we'll probably be halfway through November when this goes up anyway. So we're chugging along, won't be long, couple of weeks basically. So I've got a little, I'll move this pile over because I keep looking to that side and I shouldn't do, I should look to one side. It's because I've had to move stuff around. Because on this side, there's nothing, it's just a walk space. Right, from CX still, the Super Nintendo. Bit of a Super Nintendo cardboard. I had to buy the manual for this from France, which was considerably cheaper. I think it ended up costing me 12 quid. It's not in the best nick. It's all right. It'll do. It will do for this game. I got this from CEX. Obviously, it didn't come with a manual, like I say. I want to say about 20 quid, and it's worth a lot more than this now. And it's Asterix. Just Asterix. There is Asterix and Obelix on the SNES. I can't say that I've ever played either on it, but these, you know, cartoon platformers, they're a staple part of your 16-bit diet. I will show you the manual on this one. I say it comes from France. He says, well, I'm nearly ripping it. It looks like it's had a bit of a rough life, not going to lie, but it's all complete. It is in English. It's UKV from fucking France. Yeah. It's just an old manual, but it completes it, so it'll do me. It'll do me. I'm not too precious, you know, as long as it's not completely raggedy. And the prices just went up from there. You're fucking ridiculous. But quite happy. Yeah, it's been a while since I did a Super Nintendo title to the collection. Just a space. Just a space. It's just going to be... Who was it that said, Daz, old K-Like Gamer, said, well, you know what you want to do when you're in that space? Just sell it all and buy it all again. I said, well, like what everyone else does. You will not catch me doing that. Dana says that all the cool kids are selling up. I said, yeah, well, I'll see them on the flip side when they start buying it all back again. I get why some people sell up. I do. If it, you know, it needs musts and things, especially in the current climate. But yeah, it'd have to be something major for me to do that. Running out of space is not one of them. That much I can tell you. I have enough regrets of the stuff that I've sold before I started collecting, let alone collected, then sold it, and then bought it back. I mean, the people that do that, God, it chewed me up inside. I think I'd have to just I'd have to do something else. Collect fucking bottle caps or something. I couldn't go back and buy it all again, I don't think. I'd have to buy something completely different, you know, just all Japanese or something that I'd never collected for before, like an Atari Lynx or something. You know, I couldn't go back and buy the same stuff again. It would destroy me, I think. Anyway, I'm going to show a bit more Atari love. So these two were from, again, the same lot or a similar lot from the ones from the previous vid. I don't think I've ironed these. There were some that needed an iron and some that I didn't. I don't think I've done these two. They've all been in a box essentially. So first one is Planet Smashers. This one definitely hasn't had an iron, because you can tell, you know, even with that would be flat, and I can tell from the sump there. I haven't done anything. I'm not really aware. It looks like a Space Invader type thing. I want to say it's a shooter. This is a shooter. You know, I've got a feeling this might have been in some shrink wrap. I had two that were in, like, it's allegedly sealed, but it was that crinkly, and I think it was crushing it. Hence why it's got that there. And I think I was always meant to iron it. So what I'm going to do, I've got a little pile there, stuff that needs ironing. Not a wash basket, little pile. So I'm going to stick this up there with that pile, so I remember. Anyway, Planet Smashers. And the last one, not the last one, but the last one from that same pile. Weirdly enough, Tony, back in the day gamer. Go and check Tony out. Love Tony. Michigan guy from America, but he's just real, just a real YouTuber like I like. And again, no disrespect to Americans, but they really ham up when they're on YouTube. They think they're all movie stars, over edited and all that shit. He don't do any of that. Down to earth, grounded bloke. He picked this up on the NES, which is called by a different name, and this is called by a different name. I know this as Nebulous, and on the 7800 it's called Tower Toppler. And on the NES it's called Castilian. He hates it. But I remember this, Nebulous, from back in the 8-bit days, and obviously the Amiga. And I was quite enjoyed it as a little, like, you know, I don't know, like, not tower attack game, but you're basically moving your way up. It's a platform puzzler as you walk up a tower, hence why this is called Tower Toppler. Castilian, I kind of get. I don't know why it was ever called Nebulous, but I'm guessing that's probably why they changed the name to make it reflect more what it is. But yeah, a quirky little title that Tony from back in the day gamer doesn't like. Anyway, it's one off the list, so we're not going to put that there. We're not going to be talking about being set on fire. Still hasn't happened. Still here. Still here. Empty threats. Right. Now, two more Atari. I've had these a couple of weeks now, and these came from my good mate Rich Tewksbury, who runs Super Game Shack in Leicester. So I was over there with my daughter, my eldest. So we were looking at the university there. I said, I will pop in. See Rich, and said to him, we've got any 7,800 games. He's like, yeah, down in the store. And fair play to him, man. He went down there, dug them out, brought them back up, and me being me, I couldn't. This one I knew I didn't have. The other one I wasn't sure of, and I thought, he still had the old price on it. He goes, they're from 2017 prices, so I'd have gone down by then. Fortuitously enough for me, the other one that I knew I didn't have a price on it. So he basically said to me, make me an offer, and I said 50 quid for the pair. He said, go on then, as long as it's cash. I didn't know how good a deal this was until I got back, and it ends up being a really good deal. I've had to do some work on one of them, and they do come in box protectors as well. So the one that I wasn't sure about if I had or not, and turns out I don't have it, is Ace of Aces. Again, it falls into this genre of games that I don't really like, which is these air combat simulator type things. Not really for me. But it is nice that it comes in the protector. He had 15 quid on that, so I was happy to pay 15 quid, even though I didn't really know if I already had it. But the bargain of the day, and it's always typical. These games tend to always fall into this kind of condition, and it is Mario Bros. Not an easy one to get. Not an easy one. So he was looking at prices for this, and this, that, and the other. Like I said 50 quid. He goes, go on then, as long as it's cash. So from the front, it looks fine. It's had a bit of a bash there, and a bash there, and a bash there. So we've done some gluing and sticking. Again, just reinforce the old flap. It's ripped at the top there, so we've fixed that. And I think one of the, I can't even tell you which one, it's down in that corner, like you can see it now. So we've had to fix that, but again, from a distance, you can't tell. And once it's in here, you can't even tell. It's got the instructions, but on the shaft now, for that price, absolute Billy bargain. Billy bargain. Right, what time are we on? 20 minutes. Right, we'll do these. I was going to do them ones, but we'll might have to leave them for the next vid. So we've done enough. We've done enough. Right. So I bought some off of eBay, and it was kind of been fueled. I mean, it's been on the back burner for ages, and I kept meaning to think I should get that, but the price was always, wasn't the hurdle, but there's always something else to spend the money on, and it's just gone up, which is obviously going to happen. And I think with the current climate of this console, it's only going to get worse. I know it's going to give it away what system it's on. I know that Clint, Retro Rewind, and Ollie, 8-Bit Boy, they both bought these, and this is what spurred me on, because when they sort of said about how much the import was from Italy, it was like, shit. I missed one that came up in the UK. I was watching it. I was hoping the guy would make me an offer, but he didn't. And then another one came up, and this guy did make me an offer. So I've paid a little bit more than the previous one, I think by 10 quid. But what I did do, I don't know if people are aware of this, PayPal did this thing like paying 3. So you can literally chop the payments up into 3 lots. So I took advantage of that, essentially. And I've managed to bag myself. And this does mean now that this collection is all complete. With manuals, 100% done. La Chance, or Tour de Monde, or Smurfs Travel the World. And it is one of the Italian, you know, there's a guy there that's got a couple of crates, and if you've ever seen the history, I think every so often it goes up by 20, 30, 40, 50 quid. At one point, these were, I remember they were a solid 250. Solid 250. I'm not going to lie to you, I paid 310 in the UK. There was another guy that had one for 300 in the UK. But it was just the wrong time. I just didn't have a spare 100 quid. I didn't really have 100 quid now. But that will come to that in a minute. But I think when Clint and Ollie bought theirs, I'm sure Ollie got his. I definitely know Clint, because he talked about it. He talked about the import, and it added like another 50, 60 quid or something. He said it was closer to 300. I'm sure they said that. So when I seen one that was in the UK, I thought, let's just do it, bite the bullet. So for those that weren't aware, we'll put him here. Obviously, I did have, well, I still have got Smurfs. So this one is like a, see, I always thought that this was a different release, other than what I would call the Halifax one. But the Halifax one is literally just a sticker. I've checked, the boxes are identical. There's no different markings on them at all. So that was mine in a nice tight, but no manual, and it just come with a poster. So the legit one, and it is a quite hefty manual as well, and you get the old poster. So, but what I did have as well, I don't know if people remember this. I took a flyer. I kind of knew it was. I took a flyer on eBay years ago, when people could get away with it, and I bought another copy. But this one is fake. It's a hooky one, but they did a good job. They even got the stickers. It's got like a really bad manual in it, and a bad poster. Like a really poor poster. It's got a game catalogue. I think the game catalogue's fake as well, and the cartridge. But it's quite all right if you want to play it. But yeah, back then, you know, I remember saying to the guy, it's and I think I ended up paying like £10–15 for it. I think he'd give me like a refund. But that one has now basically left my possession. By the time this video goes up, it's gone, it's sold. I managed to claw back 230 quid from that. So this has essentially cost me like 70 quid, which is decent, which is really good. So that's what I wanted. And it's complete now. So that means that my Master System collection is now 100% complete with manuals, not missing anything. So chuffed a bit to that. I'll obviously still be keeping the hooky copy. But yeah, it is what it is. It's a bit of a. To tell you what, they even had, I don't know if you remember, they even had the foil sticker on the back and everything. Although this one, that Halifax one didn't. But yeah, I checked it. And there is no different markings, odd as anything. But there we go. 25 minutes. That's enough for Tootie for today. If I don't see you before the 5th of December, I may try and get another video out. It depends how I feel. Depends what's going on and what's cooking. But if not, take it easy, YouTube, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye-bye.